This is Follow Up is Forever. If you're joining us live, welcome. If you're here in the Zoom, glad that there's like we all want to be. So if you don't know me, I'm Jen. I'm licensed in 3 different states. Also the founder of A State of Jen and the Hype Collective, which we'll talk about later. And I'm also going to show you why your follow-up isn't working and exactly how to fix it. So I always love to start with a little mindset reset. You are not a spammer. You're not annoying and you're not bothering people. You are the expert. You're the solution. And when you show up with the right energy, with the right timing and the right message, that is when people respond. And in the Hype Collective, we call it the VIBE method, VIBE. It's value, intentional timing, behavior tracking, and energy alignment. Write that one down. VIBE, value, intentional timing, behavior tracking, energy alignment. This is how you stop being background noise and start becoming the person that they actually want to hear from. So let me give you an example of what this looks like. So I had one of the agents in the Hype Collective, they had a buyer reach out they wanted a condo that was low maintenance. They had the budget conversation. The agent knew what they wanted. And then total silence after they had a great conversation, like energy was going, and then no replies. They didn't view the emails that the agent was sending. And she was like, I'm completely ghosted. But instead of panicking because she's with the Hype Collective, she did not send like a, hey, just checking in, right? Because that always sounds like a break of text that you regret sending. Instead, she paused and waited for a real moment and it showed up. So this is what happened. She saw a new condo listing had popped up in their price range and it met their criteria. They wanted it to be walkable and whatever. It had all the amenities they wanted. And she saw that there was actually a food truck pop-up that was happening a block away that weekend. And so instead of sending a stale follow-up message, she actually recorded a 20-second video and sent it to them. And I told her to send me the script and say, hey, what exactly did you say? And she said, I said, hey, Josie, a new condo just hit the market that checks a lot of what you mentioned. And the food truck fest is happening right around the corner this weekend. Thought it might be worth a look. Want me to send you a quick video? That's it. She didn't pitch anything. It wasn't pressure. She just was present and knew what they wanted. So literally less than 10 minutes later, Josie was like, yeah, go ahead and send it. That is what I'm talking about with the vibe framework that is in action. She didn't follow up just to get a reply. She followed up to deliver a decision-making moment to them. That was an easy buy-in. So I want to give you some data to back this up. 44% of agents give up after the first follow-up. Meanwhile, 80% of deals need 6 to 12 touches in order to convert. And only 8% of agents stay consistent long enough to close, which probably explains the giant gap of why agents fail or get out of the business within the first couple of years. So what does this mean? This means that the money isn't in your first message. It is in your 6th or more when it's actually done right. And when you add video into the mix, which is why I'm obsessed with sending video messages, with creating content with your face in it, is because your open rates go up 81% with a video and your replies increase by 67%. And why is that? It's because they can feel you, your tone, your vibe, your presence. Text is only 7% of the communication. So then you become not just a canned message that every other real estate agent is sending. You're actually a real person who gets what they're trying to do and then shows up with useful and timely insight. So you go from not just chasing them, but you're leading and you're guiding them to what it is that they told you they wanted. So let that rewire how you think about follow-up. So if you've ever had somebody ghost you after acting super interested like that, like what I just talked about, put ghosted in the comments in the chat so that I know that I'm not alone. And those of you on live or in Zoom, please let me know I'm not the only one. You're not a bad agent if you've been ghosted. You're just a real estate agent if you've been ghosted. Because next, I am going to show you how to use ChatGPT. Ghosted. Yes, so you're not alone, you guys. That's the one thing, like so many agents feel like, oh, these people didn't get back to me. It must be something I did. No, just expect it. That's just part of the job. You're going to get more no's before you get more yeses. What's up, Quentin? Yes, I see you on video. All right, let's talk about, so ChatGPT, okay? I want you to automate these kinds of DMs and videos, like the example I just gave you, so that your follow-up always feels personal, never robotic, and works even when you're busy living your life. Okay, that's how we use AI in ChatGPT, not to sound like a robot, because people can sniff that out now. So how do we automate it using the vibe method that I'm talking about? So you've seen an example. I told you the example of that high converting follow up, and you know what that sounds like, and we know why it works, right? So I want to talk about how to make that your new normal so that all of your follow-ups it becomes habit, routine, and you can lean on AI to help you with those things. Because let's be real, most agents know that they should follow up, right? You're here because all of you know that I need to be better at follow up, but you fall off because the process feels clunky, or it just feels really time consuming or really creatively draining because you know you have to be creative in order to stand out. So I get all of that. So that's why we're going to use ChatGPT, but not to replace you, just to help you move faster and sound better without having to write everything from scratch. Okay, but first I want to start with why most agents use AI wrong. They type vague prompts. This is the number one problem that real estate agents have. They write a follow-up message for a buyer. Like write a follow-up message they need, or write an email with this. It's so generic. And then it gets you generic outputs from the system. And so it sounds like a CRM spit it out or AI spit it out. What you actually need is a plug and play prompt built around the vibe method, the value, intentional timing, behavior tracking, and energy alignment. This is what makes your message feel custom, not just canned. And lucky for you, we're going to go through it exactly today. Oh, shoot, we got all these people got to get admitted in. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Just popping in. We are rolling with this, okay? So we've got the vibe method: value, intentional timing, behavior tracking, energy alignment, okay? So how do we use ChatGPT to plug and play this in without sounding like a robot? Because people these days know and can sniff out when it sounds like it's ChatGPT. So this prompt is going to help you do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you, I'm going to read out what the prompt is, and then I'm going to copy and paste it in the chat. So if you're in the Zoom, you're going to see this. And also, you guys, if you signed up for this event, you're going to get a follow-up email that is going to give you a recap of all of this and the prompts that I'm talking about right now. So don't stress about it if you've signed up. If you're watching live and you're like, ooh, I want that recap email, there's still time. You can go register for the link, and then you'll also get the follow-up recap email. Okay, so here's your prompt. You're going to tell it, write a friendly 2 to 3 sentence follow-up DM or text to lead's name. So put their name in there, Josie, whatever, about the property at 123 Main Street in whatever city it's in or neighborhood. And then you're going to see in this prompt, it's going to have those sections for you to customize that with those things. There's 5 things that you have to customize in this prompt. Then you say, start with a real local tip or event, insert today's date, then mention the recent property update or event, whatever it is. So you're going to insert a price drop, an event, a status change, whatever, if you have one that's specific about it. And then say, end with an offer to send a quick 20-second video walkthrough. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste. This is the first prompt that you're going to put in here, and you'll see it. I bolded the things that you need to replace with your specific information about whatever follow-up and whatever lead you're using. Okay, so you're going to send that first. That's going to be your script, whether it's a text, DM, whatever it is. Then the second prompt you're going to input for after the lead responds, you're going to say, chat, write me a 20-second first-person video script starting with, hey, Josie, it's Jen here at whatever, 123 Main Street, or about whatever area or address that they're interested in. Then say, mention the update and tie it to the local context. End with, let me know if you want me to shoot over a quick video. It's super short, but gives you the full vibe. Okay. And then pro tip, you can add in a tone. You can say, make the tone casual, confident, warm, no pressure, no just checking in energy. Okay. So literally tell it specifically all of those things, including your tone. I'm going to copy and paste this for you. Also, what's really important is that you use today's date. Okay. So I know it sounds simple, but make sure that it's current stuff so that you can find a real local event or a business nearby or a stat on a property in that area that's currently active. Okay. And make sure just that you are compliant with the NAR Fair Housing Guidelines. Okay. There's people out and about trying to take real estate agents down. So just, as a fail safe, if you're curious about what it is that you're saying, is it on the board or whatever, just put here, hey, make sure that these scripts are compliant with NAR's Fair Housing Guidelines. Okay. So I want to do this together because you guys that are in on the Zoom have these prompts exactly. So on your phone or on your laptop, open up ChatGPT right now. If you don't have it, you can download it pretty quick. And you can use the free version. I highly, highly recommend getting the paid version of ChatGPT. I think it's $25 a month. Just do it. Just trust me, it's worth it. And if you don't have any lead details handy, because I want you to do this with an actual real lead that you need to follow up with and just test it out. So think of or pick a lead that you know you need to follow up with, or if you don't have one, don't worry about it. Just ask chat to test the prompt using a fake name and fake property. Okay, just so you can see how it works. Okay, so here are your steps. Copy and paste just the first prompt and paste it in your chat box. Okay, then or paste it in the chat GPT. So create a whole new thread, paste the prompt in that chat box, and fill in all the brackets with real info, the property address, the update, today's date, all of that. So as I'm talking, go ahead and do all of that. Then once you have it all filled in for the lead that you're talking about, click generate. And then you're going to review the outputs. Certain versions, it might give you two different options to choose from. If you have the upgraded version, you might see two different scripts or two different responses. Pick the one that sounds like you the most. Make sure that your lead's name is spelled right, that the local tip is real and current. Sometimes if ChatGPT can't find something or whatever, it'll make up events. So just pro tip, make sure that you double check that whatever event or business or stat, just verify that it's accurate. Okay. Thank you, Jeremy. Just check paid ChatGPT $19.99 a month. Perfect. Love that. Oh, and marketing manager, somebody asked, what does the paid version? Yes, it lets you during the peak hours, and free version isn't always available, and there are other benefits to the website. Yes, so check it out. Don't have too much time to go into that, but we can talk about that later if we have time at the Q&A. Okay, so again, is the local tip real and current? Does the market update make sense? Is the tone natural and not robotic? So just because you input something and you get something spit back from ChatGPT, it still involves a human aspect to make sure that it sounds like you, to make sure that the information is correct. Okay. But the more that you use this prompt and the more that you use ChatGPT, it starts to learn your tone. And if you have your custom instructions set up, even better, because you won't have to put your tone and brand voice in there, because it'll already have it if you have your custom instructions set up. That's a whole other class. Okay. So then after that first one, copy that script and send the DM or send the text, whatever it is. Okay. Then you're good. So once you send that out, then your second prompt, once you get your script dialed in for the first one, paste the second video script and update the things that you need to plug in and let it give you a video script. So from there, now you have not only what you initially send them to initiate a response, but then you have the video script for when they do say, yeah, go ahead and send that over. Now you have your video script that's a 20-second walkthrough of whatever it might be. Okay. And let's say it's not a walkthrough of a house. Let's say you're just telling them about an event. You still pull up the video script, maybe do a green screen with a photo of that event or the event details and be like, hey, this is the event that I was telling you about, blah, 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 blah. Read the script that ChatGPT gave you. Cool. Let's see. Has anyone popped it in yet? Has anyone done it? Drop a emoji in the chat if you did it and what it popped out for you. And if anyone is so bold, feel free to come off mute and read it to me. And I want to give you guys enough time to do it, but it should be fairly easy. Copying it, especially if you have someone top of mind, copy, paste, fill in those 5 things, super easy. And then it should have given you a response by now. Does anyone have it? Also, if you're stuck or confused, or if you guys want live feedback on those scripts that you're getting, put it in the chat, come off mute, and I will walk you through it right now. Because this is where we shift from just checking your follow-up as a task and making it feel mundane and automated to actual real intentional follow-up that converts leads. So doing this actively as you're in it right now, it's going to increase your chances of implementing it later. And that's the whole point of all of this, is not just to give you a course, set it, forget it, make you feel good for having a training today, but it's actually, I want you to implement these tools, these resources, so that it increases your conversion rate. Yeah, if you don't have ChatGPT, very behind going forward. Absolutely, marketing magician. That is true. At minimum, get the free version, please, for the love, because we'll teach you how to use it. Quentin, did you try popping it in?
I was making calls earlier, and somebody just called me back.
Oh, good.
So I was saying, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
1 second.
Yeah, super smart too, you guys. What's really cool about these prompts is that number one, they will stay and live in your chat GPT as a conversation. And so you can copy and paste that prompt really easy every new lead that you do. Or you can take these prompts, save them in your notes, save them in your Notion if you're using that, or your Google Drive. And then, yeah, you can label. So ChatGPT will automatically label your threads, and you can edit those labels and then store those prompts. And then you can just insert it really, really quickly. So the idea is that this is quick, this is fast. So everyone's like, no, I'm not going to share. If anyone wants to, pop off of mute and do that. But let's keep going. So how do we make this a daily follow-up loop? Because I want to lock in what happens after today, because knowing how to follow up is not the same as actually doing it. And if you're anything like most agents, you start with good intentions, and then life happens, and then the open house runs late, and then you get stuck dealing with inspections, or you just freeze up because you're just not sure what to say. This is exactly where most people drop the ball. But not anymore, because now you guys have a system for doing this, and we're going to give you a daily follow-up loop so that you make sure that you're doing this every single day so that you increase those conversions. So this is the exact loop that I teach my agents to run over and over and over again. And it works even if you're solo, if you're slammed, you're completely overwhelmed, doesn't matter, because it's very simple. It's like brushing your teeth, okay? It's not dramatic, but when you do it daily, you're going to stay fresh, you're going to stay relevant, you're going to stay remembered, and you're going to have healthy teeth and a healthy business, okay? So step one is pull 3 to 5 follow-up opportunities, okay? Just 3 to 5. Start with that. So you can scan your messages, your DMs, your CRM, whatever's right in front of you, and you should have some of those. Even if you're brand new, you've got a whole phone of people. You've got social media of people that are ready to buy and sell, okay? And so you're looking for people who've messaged you in the past and maybe disappeared or ghosted you. A lead maybe that asked questions or expressed interest in the beginning but never actually booked an appointment with you. Or this works for the just browsing buyers who saw something new pop up, that are sitting in your CRM system. Maybe they're looking at emails you've been sending them but haven't reached out yet. So literally anyone that you've been meaning to follow up with in the last 7 days or more. Okay. So if you're not sure who to follow up with, a little cheat code is just check your phone. There's somebody in your CRM, there's somebody in your phone that you have not followed up with in the last week that may still be ready right now. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is use the prompt that you just learned. So grab the ChatGPT prompt, plug in each lead's name in different chats, what their last known interest was, and anything new about their situation that you could talk about. A price drop, a new listing that happened or that just came on the market, an open house, whatever it is. It could be also a real local tip or event. Okay, then hit generate. Reuse that for all 3 to 5 of them, and then adjust the scripts slightly if needed. Then boom, move on. And once you have those 3 to 5 variations saved, then you're literally never starting from scratch again. The hardest part is literally just copying and pasting, inputting the person's thing, but then you just have it, you guys. So step one, pick 3 to 5 people today. Step two, use the prompt that I just sent you. Step three, record it and send it. You don't have to have fancy lighting. You don't have to have perfect hair. Okay, just grab the phone, hit record, and read that 20-second script in your voice like you're sending a text to a friend. Now, if you are like, Jen, what should I use to do that? Like literally just, ideally it's the back-facing camera, but I get it if you want to look at yourself, whatever. Again, the details in that doesn't matter. I like to use, if I have a specific script, I like to use CapCut. CapCut's phenomenal. And they also have a teleprompter button in there where you can paste your script and read it, and boom, you're done. So you can say something like, hey, Taylor, saw that new condo pop up near the park you mentioned, thought of you instantly, want me to shoot you a 20-second walkthrough? Okay, so you can either send, so that this is a 2-part follow-up system, right? You can do video for both if you want to be sexy with it, or you can send the text script on the first one and entice them with, hey, want me to send you a video follow-up? Doesn't matter either way. It's just that's the two-part system. And then send it through the same platform that they last contacted you on. So if you were DMing before, send them that video or the text in the DM. If you were texting, text, email, whatever they feel comfortable with. Okay. So the step 3 is record and send it. And then step 4 is tracking behavior, not just their replies. So this is where most agents miss it, because you're only tracking who replies and not tracking who watches your video or who clicks your links or who watches your IG stories, right? So I'm going to give you guys, those of you who are here in the Zoom, you're going to get this in the follow-up email. It's a simple format to stay on top and track all of that. Okay, so what it's going to show you is you're going to have the client name, the initial message sent, and you're going to like check the box on that. Did I send the follow-up video? Sent. Did they view it? Yes or no? Did they reply? Yes or no? And then next touch, because you don't just do this once, right? This should help re-engage a lot of your clients, but there's always another follow-up because follow-up is forever. Okay, so then you put in your next touch, and you could put this in your CRM system. You could create your own spreadsheet, whatever. But if you're not tracking things, again, your results aren't going to be what you want them to be. So it's about the follow-up and then having strategic, continued follow-up that's going to make the difference, because their behavior is the data. If they watched but didn't respond, you don't need to panic about it. They still have interest. They're still just deciding. And that is your moment to stay present and consistent, not just disappear like you're used to doing. So that is the daily loop. 3 to 5 leads a day. You have a solid message, 1 short video, and 1 pattern to track. And you're going to get all of this recapped in the email. It does not take hours to do this. 3 to 5 people, once you do this once or twice, should take you under 30 minutes to both put the prompts in, get the scripts, send them all out to everybody, and then do your follow-up videos, because the videos are only 20 seconds. Okay, so this should take you under 30 minutes to follow up with 3 to 5 people. And it's super intentional. And these are the exact steps to do it. You guys, I promise you, you don't need more scripts. Do I give you more scripts? Yes, all the time. There's over 400 of them in the vault with the people that are in the Hype Collective. What you need more than that is consistency. And when you combine this loop with the vibe method that we're talking about, that is when you become unforgettable. So if this system feels doable, I know there's a lot here, but I mean, it's really only 4 steps to do this on a daily basis. If that feels doable, can I see an emoji in the chat? Can I, or tell me, I'm completely lost, Jen. Can you repeat that? Like anything. If this feels doable, you're like, yes, Jen, I can commit to 30 minutes a day of following up with people. Yes, Cindy, freaking love it.
If I only have the email, how can I try to get to their, get their phone number, even if I ask directly?
Yeah, I mean, what I would do, in that case, let's say you only have, because that often happens, right? Maybe we get a lead that's just an email, or you only have 1 piece of information. You can still send videos through emails. So I would still like bomb. I mean, you can pay or not pay. You can upload, if you want to jerry rig it, you could film it and attach that video to the email and do it that way, or use a system like Bomb. I know multiple CRM systems have video integrated, so you could do that. But if you don't have any of those tools, record it and just upload it as an attachment to your email. And if you want to get their phone number, but if you have some sort of context for what it is that they're looking like, if they're a buyer, a seller, or whatever, you can still use the value drop, right? Like, give me an example. Who are you thinking of that you only have their email for? Oh, you were quiet. Your audio is cutting out. You're still silent. I don't know. Okay. Okay, we'll do this real time to give you guys an example. This is great, Quentin.
No.
There you go.
Okay. So Sam and Kayla, I met them at an open house. They're kind of reluctant to give me their number at the moment. So they're just like, emails best. They seem like they're pretty active looking. They said they talked to a lender.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so this is great content, like great info you have. So you know what area they're looking in, you know what price point they're looking in, because they attended an open house that was active on the market, right? So what would be something of interest to them? A new home that hit the market that's in that area that matches that price point. That would be ideal. Or a trend like a price reduction on a property that matches. So you could just do a quick CMA around that open house. See if there's any new inventory, whatever, just pick something, or maybe a local event in the area. If they're looking to move into there, be like, hey, I know I met you at the open house. here's a local event that's happening or a new business that opened, like pick anything. You could probably come up with a list of 5 things right there. And there are your next 5-week plan to follow up to give them items of value. And so in that email, in addition to doing that exact strategy that we just said, then just say, hey, here's my phone number. And also, hey, if you want to give me your phone number, I can text you the details, or I'll text you a video walkthrough of the, if you want to maybe not send the video and you're just typing the email, have the second response of the, like, hey, if you give me your phone number, I'll text you a video of a breakdown of this new property that just hit the market, so add that layer in to, hey, I'll send you this video, give me your phone number and I'll text it to you. So,
Okay.
Yep. But even if they don't, even if they don't give that, you could still, again, upload the video to the email and keep sending it. So the idea is that you're just consistent with the follow-up with whatever piece of contact information they gave you, whether it's email, phone, socials, whatever it is. You could still do that same structure. That was a perfect example. Okay, cool. So now I want to talk about, Marketing Magician, great idea. You can also add a YouTube link for video and email. That's a perfect one. It's super easy for someone to click on that. Thank you. Yep, love it, love it. Okay, so what happens after you follow up and they respond with not yet, right? So all that whole structure and framework works if they say, yes, go ahead and send me that video, or yes, I do want to be followed up with, right? But we also know they could either ghost you or say not yet. So this is the one thing no one tells you, that when a lead ghosts you, it's obvious, right? You feel it, they ghost you. But the trickier part is when they don't ghost you, they reply, but they're stalling. That's, we're just watching, we're not ready yet, we're just waiting for rates to drop, whatever. And that's another point of friction for agents, where you disappear, you don't follow up, or you don't know what to say. Because it's not because you don't care, you just are unsure of what to say next and how to lead and guide them down that path. Okay. So this is not about necessarily objection handling. It's about your follow-up flow of what to say when the lead doesn't say yes yet. Because if your follow-up dies when someone doesn't jump at that first message, you're still chasing and you're still struggling to convert. But if you know how to respond when they respond, regardless of what they say, and you keep it value first, pressure-free, and momentum-driven, that is when your follow-up actually converts. Follow-up feels so much like dating in middle school, 100%. Okay, so let's talk about one of the common ones with a buyer stall. Okay, so we're just watching the market. Okay, you got a buyer and they say something along those lines. If you're executing this daily follow-up loop, you're going to hear this. And that's not a no, it's a hesitation. And if your response ends there, so does your deal. So how do we pivot a reply to keep the ball moving forward? You can say something like, makes total sense. It's smart to stay aware, but I want to make sure your time and energy aren't wasted on noise. Let me build a custom search that only delivers homes that actually match what you're looking for. I'll keep it tight, just the things that fit right. What are your top must-haves? Bedrooms, bathrooms, budget, so I can set it up for you today. Okay. Why does this work? It respects their pace while still offering structure. It also sets small commitments, right? Just commit to sending me your criteria and I'll get that set up. That reinforces the momentum of moving forward, regardless of them just waiting for the market, right? Doesn't matter. And it also activates micro actions. They supply the info, you set up the value, you have a reason to follow up, right? So you're guiding that. And when they respond, I provide what I like to call an offer menu. It makes it even easier for them because they just have to pick one of the 3 options you're giving them. So for a buyer stall, number 1, I would say a custom filtered search. So I can set you up on a search that skips the filler and just delivers what matters to you right now. Number 2, I could do a weekly hot sheet update. Once a week, a weekly snapshot of all the new matches that pop up in your area. Or number 2, I could do a video preview clip. I can film a 20-second walkthrough video of a listing that lands in your wheelhouse so you don't have to worry about any Zillow guesswork. Okay, so a custom filtered search, a weekly hot sheet, or a video preview of a house that fits their criteria. Okay, and then I end that with, want me to send you one today? That provides value. It also positions you as the leader of the relationship and still puts you in the driver's and puts them in the driver's seat of their decisions. So it does all of those things for them and makes it really easy for them to make a decision and move it forward without feeling like they have to make a commitment. Okay. Also, just another like, make sure that you are focusing on objective criteria, because we'll hear a lot of times people say, well, I want a safe neighborhood, I want a family friendly neighborhood. That's fine for them to tell you. You just have to make sure that what you respond back stays within the NAR fair housing guidelines. Okay, I always just like to say that. But that being said, always consider when a lead says they're just watching, that they're often overwhelmed by choices or just waiting for a sign, right? So by offering structure before the sale even happens, you shift them from passive to now engaged. And you're reducing that friction while building trust with them without ever asking them to commit. You're not trying to convince them that now's better than whatever random time in the future is, right? You're just doing what they need in that time and that space and getting those micro commitments to move forward. Okay, now let's talk about a seller stall. We're just not ready to list yet. And this one really can kill momentum if you don't know what to say. So it can sound like, we're not ready yet. We're watching what the neighbors get first, or we want to wait until the market shifts. Like, I'm sure all of us have heard those things, especially right now in this market. Let's be clear about this though. That is not a hard no. It's indecision. And indecision, that's where most listings die before you ever go live. And so your move should be normalizing that delay, but anchoring it with the next step using value, clarity, and momentum. Same kind of vibe here. So a reply you could say when they say, we're not ready yet, we're just waiting for the market, whatever, is like totally fair. You don't have to be ready to list today for me to help. In fact, the smartest sellers I work with start early before the rush hits so they can prep on their terms and price with confidence. Let me just send you over a quick pricing snapshot of your area so you know what's happening right now. That way, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months out, you're way ahead of it. That works because it's reframing their waiting as strategy, but on your terms. It's also low pressure offer of value. You're giving them data, not forcing them to make a decision, and gives you a reason to keep your name in their inbox without chasing them, because you're providing them with value, you're giving them data. So whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, this information is going to be helpful for you. So an offer menu that I might give a seller that's stalling is, number one, a quick CMA and market prep breakdown. Say something like, I can run a short CMA on your address and send over a 3-step plan so you know exactly how to get top dollar for your property when the time comes. And guess what? If you're like, I don't have a 3-step plan, Jen, well, you can literally pop that into ChatGPT and say, what is a 3-step prep plan for these sellers at this address that are stalling right now, right? So you can utilize that. Number 2, a buyer demand snapshot. This one's cute. Want a snapshot of how many buyers are actively searching in your price range right now? Number 3, if you listed today, walkthrough video. I could shoot you a quick 20-second video on what I'd highlight if we listed your place today with layout features and what buyers are responding to. Then you ask them, which one would you like me to send over this afternoon? Okay, so you're giving them options, providing value, providing data, all in their timeline. Doesn't matter. You're not forcing them to do anything. You're literally delivering to them what is going to be helpful to reach the actual goal that they want to reach. Sellers who say that they're just watching are usually overwhelmed by 2 things. So keep this top of mind when you hear a response like that. They're either overwhelmed by the prep that's required to go live on the market, right? How many times you hear, oh, like, we're not ready yet, we have to do so much decluttering, right? So they're overwhelmed by the prep that's required, or they have a fear of making a wrong decision in any of the aspects of selling their home. They don't want to lose out on money. They want to time it right. They want to price it right. They don't know which agent to use, right? So it's either the prep or a fear of some kind about making a wrong decision. So when you offer a preview of the process, so all that offer menu I gave you, those scripting, that's a preview of the process, and it breaks down that fog of uncertainty that they feel. When you do that, you reduce their perceived risk about taking the next step. So you're shifting them from maybe later to, well, actually, it'd be smart to start now. Right? Because you reframed their, oh, we're just waiting, to, oh, no, actually, that's a strategy. That's what really smart sellers do. They start the process now and they get prepped. And this is how you prep in 3 easy steps. You're not trying to force the listing. You're building the yes up before they even realize that they're ready to say it. Right? Okay, so let's talk about another scenario. These two parts kind of go together. We're already working with someone, right? We hear that. We're afraid of that response, or we're just exploring our options. Okay, so we're going to kind of talk about those. So this is where a lot of agents fumble the bag because they hear that they already have an agent and you back away, right? But the truth is, most buyers and sellers don't really have an agent. They had a conversation with someone. They met someone at an open house, or their cousin's ex-wife has a license, right? Like that doesn't mean they're under contract yet. So your job isn't to steal a client. If they say, yes, we are under contract, then yes, that's when you can bolt. Hey, don't want to step on toes. You can still offer a second opinion, but we're not trying to steal clients here, right? But we're here to provide more clarity, more confidence, and more follow through than whatever vague situation that they're in. Okay. So what you can say when they're saying, hey, yeah, we know someone, or we're going to work with Susie, whatever. You can say, hey, totally fair. Are you locked in with paperwork yet, or just chatting with a few people? Because if it's open, I'd love to be your second opinion. No pressure. I'll send over a property report with some real stats, so you've got options in front of you. Okay, that works because you're asking a non-invasive question that clarifies the relationship. If they're not under contract, they're usually going to admit it. And now you're offering value first, not asking for their business before proving it. Like you are proving you deserve it by asking the upfront question and letting them know what you're going to do and how that's going to be different. And at the least, it'll at least be a second opinion for them, right? But you're probably doing more than the random agent that they met or their cousin's sister's brother. Okay. Yes, Meg's like the script. I do too. Like, and the cool thing is, if you registered for this event, you're going to get all of these scripts verbatim, so you can copy and paste them in ChatGPT, use them yourself, rework them, whatever. But these are the things that work. So another thing, so let's talk about, because these are kind of in alignment, and the offer menu that I do is similar. So when they say we're just exploring, when you're not quite sure, like, are you exploring agents? Are you exploring options? Whatever, you can say, hey, love that. And honestly, this is the best time to build the plan before things get chaotic. If you want, I'll pull together a quick roadmap, like price anchors, options, timelines. So when you're ready, you're not starting from scratch. That way, you're not chasing, you are consulting them. People respect clarity, and exploring often means that they're waiting for someone to show up with a roadmap. So be that person for them. So the 3 tangible offer menu items that you can give them in either of these scenarios is, number 1, a second opinion property report, or CMA, if it's a seller, right? So you can say, hey, want me to pull some numbers on a place you're eyeing, if it's a buyer, I guess, or current neighborhood, so you've got some stats to work with. Okay, so second opinion on values or what's going on in the area, or if they're selling something. If it's a seller you're working with, then I can do a second opinion CMA. Second thing I would offer is a strategy call or walkthrough. I can shoot over a quick video breakdown or a quick call invite. Nothing salesy. You'll just walk away with more clarity. Okay, so second opinion CMA, strategy call, or third, a what it looks like prep guide. I've got a 1-pager on what it actually looks like to buy or sell in this market. Jen, I don't have a 1-pager of what it actually looks like to buy or sell in this market. Perfect. You know who does? ChatGPT. And you can customize it with whatever area you're in, whatever objections you've heard from the seller, whatever you know about them, plug it all in there and say, give me a 1-pager prep guide on what it looks like to sell in this market or buy in this market. Okay. So that's the offer menu I'd give to them. And don't forget, you say, want me to send one of these over today? So you've got it in front of you. So when someone tells you that they have someone, you just automatically assume they're half in, there's no paperwork signed. But again, we're asking them that question to clarify. And when they say they're just exploring, assume they want someone to take the wheel. Not that we're not ready yet. Just exploring means they need a guide, right? They need a roadmap because they're exploring. In both cases, your move is the same with that. So you show up with clarity, you show up with value and confidence, and let your follow-up do what that other agent isn't going to do, or their last agent didn't do. Okay, so let's just zoom out for a second. A lot of us came in today with leads that are ghosting us, or our follow-up isn't working. Maybe you've got an inbox full and follow-ups that just are falling flat. So we broke down why that happens, why most agents are always busy, never closing. That's the worst. And how to flip that with actual real strategy and not just noise, not just another script, right? All of this, the daily follow-up strategy, the scripts, yes, of course, but also customizing that into your own voice and following up different than how other agents are going to follow up. Guaranteed, if you guys are here, you are doing more and you are listening into the systems and the processes and the scripts that 90% of agents are not doing. So the shift is from chasing to creating moments, from cold leads and being worried about that to warm reactivations. That's what all of this, the daily follow-up system, is designed to do. And going from I don't know what to say to I've got the exact message and video and system ready to go, you can do daily within less than 30 minutes. And you learned how to make AI feel like you and not a robot. And here's the thing, I get it. Knowing what to do is one thing. Doing it every damn day is a whole nother thing. So that is actually why the Hype Collective exists. It's not a sales pitch, but as the place agents go when they're done winging it. That's why I created it. So if you're tired of just like white knuckling this thing and just not getting consistent results, and you want like real strategy and structure and to be around people who are actually closing, that's exactly why I built it. So just so you know, we meet twice a month. Every second and fourth Tuesday, record a full group coaching session. You get full access to the vault, which has scripts, systems, prompts, everything that you saw today, plus a ton more on a host of different topics. I'm going to, like I said, resend the full recap email so you can rewatch or share with maybe you've got accountability partner. So keep out your eyes out for that. But for the Hype Collective, because you guys are here and joined today, I'm giving you guys 20% off. So if you want 20% off of the Hype Collective, you can use the code FOLLOW20. FOLLOW20 at checkout. Just there's your open door. Like you can start really actually growing by being around the people, having the consistent coaching, having the tools and resources like what we're talking about today. And you have already taken that first step by showing up. So you can either run it alone, you can spin your wheels. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can literally plug into all the tools, the systems, the resources that I've built out. So I want to open it up for you guys. We have 15 minutes left to ask questions. It can be about anything that we talked about today. Follow-up, AI, scripts. Maybe you have a lead right now that you're like, hey, this is the scenario. This is where it left off. What do I say? So feel free to come off mute. You can pop it in the chat. Oh, my admin is saying you guys actually get 30%. Oh, look at that. We're feeling extra generous today. You get 30% off. The code is follow30. So my bad. You get more of a discount. Follow up 30. So opening it up to that. And, here's the thing. If your follow-up is already perfect, if your DMs are exploding and every lead you ever talk to is under contract right now, you can log off. But if you still have some work to do, you still have questions, feel free to pop it out. It's that's good to know too. 24-hour discount. So get it now or lose 30% off. So do you have a question on scripts? ChatGPT setup, a weird lead reply. We're waiting for the market to crash, like since it's been 2021 and we're just waiting for that, right? I've literally heard it all, you guys. So don't be shy about what are you feeling rough with? Do you want me to re-talk about what that daily follow-up looks like? Literally anything. If you've got it all figured out, perfect. But I know if you're still here, you're like, there's probably something. And if you have a question, someone else probably does. Quentin, you came off mute.
Yes. Quick question. So I made contact with someone yesterday. She was really friendly. Her and her husband just relocated. They're still getting settled in, and she's open to possibly moving into a nice home if it's the right fit, and they'll rent out their current property. Okay. But what she really wants to do is they want to buy some duplexes.
Okay. So they'd rather like make an investment. Are they going to live in one side and rent out the other, or they just want to?
I think they're going to keep their current property, live there, and just rent out both.
Got it. So you said they relocated. Have they bought something?
Yeah, they just moved in. Well, I'm not sure the exact timing, but they're still getting settled into their new place that they bought here.
Interesting.
They relocated from California.
Okay, gotcha. And just out of curiosity, did they use? Yes. How come you got connected with them and they're not reaching out to their agent who helped them buy here?
KB Core.
Okay. So it was an internet lead. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So that's fabulous. So you want to come out of the gate being very responsive, following up, so now okay, they're looking for an investment property. So they're fine. So what I'm hearing is they're fine where they're at and they're just getting settled. So they're looking for a duplex. Okay, perfect. So what's your question? Like how to follow up with them?
How to keep the follow up and not feel too pushy or salesy. Because the wife was pretty open. She's like, two options. Like they love where they live, but they're just browsing. They would move into something if it was a right fit and rent out currently where they live. But
Gotcha.
She said the long-term goal, they really want to buy some duplexes.
Okay, so the first thing I would do for that, because they've got kind of lots of different options going on, so I would build out maybe 5 to 10 things that would be items of value for them. So item of value would be, what could their current place rent for? So you could do what would their current place, right? So because if they did find something that they liked better than where they're currently living, they would want to know what would their current place rent for. And these things can also give you ideas for follow-up questions for them. So, hey, what's your current mortgage on that property? I'm going to compare that with what you could get for current rent right now and see if it would make sense for you to rent this out, if you could make money or at least break even. So it gives you more reasons to follow up, right? So what their property could rent for. And then another item of value is obviously anytime a duplex sets up, do you know what areas they're looking for a duplex?
Nothing specific at the moment.
Okay. Do you know price range that they would buy in?
I did not get that.
That's okay. So what you could do, so as a follow-up for these people, if there's definitely items of information you need to know, your next follow-up could look like again, provide value. So the value is, hey, I did some research and it's looking like, maybe take where they currently live. Do you know where they live? What city?
No, I don't.
That's okay. So you could actually reverse look them up on tax records and try and search if the property, the county records may not be updated yet, but anyways, doesn't matter. You can look at, hey, the Portland metro area, with duplexes or triplexes that are going between 400 to 700,000. It looks like there's 47 of them that are available. Can you help me narrow down which areas you're kind of looking into? Or are you still exploring that? And do you want me to help you narrow down what places would be good for that or whatever? So tell them an item of value, like there are duplexes out there in these areas, or, duplexes that are, available are going, it's looking like you're not going to find a duplex for under 500,000 in the Portland metro area. Tell me a little bit more about your price point. So first you need to get criteria of what they're looking for if you haven't yet. So again, these are all reasons to follow up. And at the same time, you can say, what's your current mortgage payment? I'm going to check. Or you could actually pre-do this. Say, hey, I both looked up what your property could rent for if you decided to go for that route. And I also looked at duplexes that are in the Portland metro area. Have a couple of questions for you to narrow this down. What is your mortgage payment that you're paying, so that so we can see if that would make sense for you to rent it out. And number two, what areas would you want to purchase those duplexes? Or do you need help narrowing down the areas you want to be in?
Okay.
And then if they need help narrowing down, okay, tell me about what type of, what class of, whatever, like what types do you want it to be? Is it something that you need move-in ready, or are you okay with doing some fixing up? What your handyman skills look like, or your budget, definitely the budget thing. So just sitting down, thinking of, at minimum 5 items of value for what you do know about, and then provide a value couple things, and then ask more questions to then provide value more down the road. And then from there, you can start intermixing, like, oh, hey, I just saw this duplex pop up that's a new listing, thought you might be interested. Oh, another property went up for rent in your neighborhood, it's renting for this. Or, so then you can just start intermixing, on a weekly, bi-weekly basis until they see something of interest. And you should also set up a CRM search for them. Once you get more narrowed down on their criteria, that sends them through your CRM system, at least, on a weekly basis of any properties that hit the market that match their criteria.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is good. Thank you for asking out loud, because that type of stuff, it's gonna help other people, because other people have the same questions. So we got a few minutes left, you guys. Happy to answer any more questions you have. Also want to make sure, so feel free to come off mute if you think of something, but while you're thinking of your question. Oh, good question, Michelle. Is it a lifetime membership or only 1 year? So how it's structured is that you can either pay monthly or for a full year up front, but it just renews every year. You can cancel anytime. So it's, you're not locked in necessarily because you can cancel it at any time. So it's for the pricing though, that 30% off that you guys are getting, that lasts for a full year for you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Website for sign up. Yes. Thank you, Jeremy, for popping that in there. So in the chat, you guys, is the website to find out about the Hype Collective. If you're watching live, you guys can check in any of my social media profiles. And the first button there is that Hype Collective to check that out. So yeah, even if you guys have any questions about that, happy to answer it. And but really my main goal and the reason why I set up the Hype Collective is it has 3 prongs to fully help real estate agents with all aspects that you're struggling with. And the first piece of that obviously is the live group coaching. You're going to get kicked in the butt. We're going to talk about real stuff that's going on. I custom create the coaching sessions that we have. It's not just a canned, oh, we're going to talk about FSBOs one day and then scripts this day. It is customized because when you sign up, you fill out a questionnaire that tells me all the things that are going on in your business, what you're struggling with, what you're good at, what you want more of, all the things. And so I take everyone's responses and then curate the coaching sessions twice a month as we have them. So it's going to be real-time stuff that you're actually needing help with and going through. So we've got the group coaching sessions. I record all of those and upload them into the vault. So that way you can replay them as much as you want. Or if you have to miss one, you can always go back and rewatch it. The second piece of that is the actual tools and resources. That is the vault. And you get instant access to that as soon as you sign up. You guys, there's so much stuff in there. I mean, it is overwhelming, but the idea is to give you everything freaking possible to build an insane real estate business. And that no matter what point you are in your real estate business, whether you're brand new or you're seasoned or you're trying to scale and level up, whatever stage you're in, there is content, there's systems, tools, scripts, processes for you that's in there. And you get to focus on and direct and pick the things that are going to help you in your business most right now. And then the third leg of that is the community. Real estate can be a really lonely game. And so having that community of people that are like-minded, that are driven and doing the things and showing up daily, you're going to be surrounded by people that do that. So that community is housed in my Discord channel. You get private access to just the Hype Collective people. Yes. So just the Hype Collective members are in that private area. There is a virtual office that you have access 24/7 to. So the agents in the Hype Collective will pop in there and say, hey, Collective, can someone pop in here and help me with this negotiation that I'm handling with this deal? Or they will practice their scripts and role play with agents in there or make live cold calls together. So those are the 3 aspects of that. And so yeah, so you can check all of that out. Don't forget the code follow30 to get 30% off of that. And you guys, we are coming up here. So a couple things, and feel free to come off me at any point. You can continue to ask questions.
Thursday.
What was that?
Hype seat. Your hype seat Thursday.
Yes, Thursday, just as another thing, I'm constantly, you guys, doing different events and different things you guys can plug into and connect with this Thursday. My podcast is called The Hype Seat. I'm interviewing a fun CEO for a title company. He's going to have a lot of great success principles that'll directly apply to real estate. That's going to be live this Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to catch that. Also, you know, as you guys are thinking of questions, there's a few things that have come up that you might relate to this or spark additional things that you might want help with. But earlier this week, I had an agent come to me. They've got a lot going on in their personal lives, kids, wife, all the things. And she said, hey, what if I don't have time to record a video for every individual lead, right? Because some of us have, lots of leads and lots of follow-ups that we have to do. Here's the thing. You can repurpose and batch create and keep all of them under 20 seconds. Okay. So if you feel like, oh, I don't have enough time for that. Well, first you could start with just doing that for those 3 to 5 follow-ups a day. Okay. But then you also will probably notice that the things you say will start to repeat. The objections that we get from buyers or sellers tend to be the same over and over. So there are certain videos that I have. If it's a very particular objection, I have a pre-recorded script of handling that objection or a certain type of time frame that I'm at with the follow-up with that client. So you can batch create those and then send those out when you get that objection. Another pro tip that you could do is you can use ChatGPT to do this. Let's say there's an objection that you get all the time. Let's just say you work with buyers and one of their objections you always hear is, oh, well, I just want to wait for the timing of the market. You could write a blog for your website about waiting for the market and what that would cost you, and then have a canned video about why it costs you to wait, and then have that video teed up and say, hey, Susie, I know we were talking the other day about, your fear of taking the next step, or, you wanting to wait. I actually wrote a blog post on this, and here's some information about that. Send the video, send the link to your blog post. Again, just repurposing all of that stuff. So am I saying that you have to send a personalized video to every single person you come in contact with? No, but the more that you do it and the more that you have these batch videos, that will create more time for you to be more personalized with this stuff. Marketing magician. General neighborhood CMAs, local events and blogs you create? Yes, absolutely. So let's say you have neighborhood CMAs that you do. Maybe you do them once a quarter, right? Maybe you farm a certain area. You could film one video and send it out to hundreds of people, or however many people are in that neighborhood that you're farming. Say, hey, it's Jen, your favorite real estate agent in the Sunshine neighborhood. This is what's going on with prices right now, blah, 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 right? So like, instead of individually sending message to your farm, there's a canned video that you can send out to hundreds of people. Ooh, yes. One of our Hype Collective agents just did a blog on the best pickleball courts in their area and sent it. Love it. It doesn't have to be real estate related. That's another thing too, is just making it personalized to, if you farm in a certain area, pick a local business to highlight. Pick events that are happening, like intermix, like things that people that you help buy and sell properties to. Pick stuff that they would be interested in, or what things do you like and how do you want to attract your ideal client? There's endless ideas here. The point is that you do it consistently and you keep on your follow-up, because I don't care if you've got thousands of leads coming in or hundreds or whatever, if you're not following up with them, then your chances of converting significantly goes down. And do not forget, I say this all the time because it's true, it's this actual stat, and it's also consistent with marketing rules and laws, is that between the 6th and 12th contact is when most conversions happen. So if you have not reached out or followed up with someone at minimum 6 times, then you're literally leaving money on the table. You guys are quiet today. That's okay. I have enough words for all of you. All right, cool, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining another session of Follow Up is Forever. Be sure to just go sign up for the next one for next month. We'll be talking about new stuff, fresh stuff, new scripts, and keep an eye out for the follow-up email that has a recap of everything we talked about today. It's going to have the scripts in it. It's going to have that daily follow-up loop I talked about. It's going to have the vibe method that we talked about, the ChatGPT prompts in there. So if you have not signed up yet, you won't be getting that recap email. So go sign up so you get that, and you can utilize that in the business, or in your business. Sorry, I was reading at the same time. Oh, yes. And remember, your 30% off code, follow30, ends in 24 hours. So go grab that. You can also schedule a call with me if you have any more specific questions. But it's been awesome, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we will see you next month. Bye. All righty. So those of you on live right now, I decided to live stream my Follow Up is Forever event for you guys to see, so that next time, if you want the recap email with all the stuff that we talk about, because I jam pack that info in there for you, be sure to sign up for the next one. So that way you get the link, you get into the Zoom for free. And I usually do some sort of a discount for my coaching programs in those sessions. So check that out. And yes. Whoop, whoop. So that being said, I am going to do a little bit of catching up on the things while we are in the session. And if you guys have thought of anything or have any questions about that event was insane. Thanks, Silent Bear. I try to give as much value as possible. Here's the thing. If you watch that session, don't be one of the 90% of people that doesn't implement. That is the biggest thing. People will ask me like, Jen, you give out so much content for free. Like, how do you do that? I'm not, I don't gatekeep anything because number one, I actually want to level up the entire real estate industry. I hope that my TikToks, my YouTubes, my newsletter, like I want all of those things to just level up the industry in general. I particularly have a soft spot in my heart for real estate agents. I love to train. I love to see people's wins and see transformation of lives. And so I will give out as much as I possibly can for agents to win. Unfortunately, not every agent will implement what I talk about. If they did, they would have a freaking recurring business that lasted as long as they wanted them to. And if they could understand that follow-up is forever, that's why I named it that. I had a conversation with a former CEO of a big brokerage the other day. And he said, this is beautiful. He was like, when agents ask me, how long should I follow up? He said, well, how long do you want a real estate business? And that, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's freaking exactly what I'm saying. I have this event called Follow Up is Forever because that's what follow up is. It is literally forever until the person buys or sells a house with you, they pass away, or they tell you to F off. Like and if they buy or sell a house with you, guess what? Your follow up still isn't done because you're going to continue follow up post closing to get referrals, to help them buy or sell a house in a few years from now, or whatever that is. So as long as you want a real estate business, you are in the business of follow-up. Yes, lead generation, absolutely, foundational. But I think follow-up is even more key to that, because if you don't, then you can't scale anything. You're not going to have repeat business if you don't continue to follow up, which is why I named an entire event that I do monthly after follow up, because it is a key component for real estate agents that they do not do well or that they struggle with, and all aspects of it, of whether it's I don't know what to say, or I feel like I'm bugging people, or I don't have the right scripts, or I don't know what value to provide, like all of that kind of stuff. That's why I tackle all of those things. And I go even more in depth to that in the Hype Collective that we do. So that being said, it's really important that you prioritize follow-up, and have a system and have a structure for it. I try and break it down so it's really, really simple for people to follow on a daily basis, because you should be daily doing that. Just like you're taught and told to lead generate daily, you should also be following up daily. And if you don't have a system or a process for it and you're not tracking it, you probably don't have a very big business, and you're not on the road to building a very big business. So some pro tips for you. But that being said, I must be going. Children are home. And just so you guys know, a couple things before we hop off. Go sign up for next month. Follow Up is Forever. Happens every third Tuesday, same time, same place, in Zoom. It's for free. And also, I'm interviewing a top title company CEO this Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to see it live and you want to ask questions, engage in the chat, definitely catch it live at 11 o'clock this Thursday Eastern. Otherwise, the replay will be posted on Spotify or on YouTube, so you can rewatch it there. And then the Hype Collective, always available for you guys to go check that out. And you can check out my profile to see the webpage that tells you all the things that you get. But it is not too late to join, so go grab that. If you're watching my Follow Up is Forever event, the code is extended to you guys, follow 30 to get 30% off. And if you have even more info, or maybe, oh yes, open house coach, right? Definitely a soft spot for them, 100%. Awesome. Sorry, I missed your guys' comments from before, but get plugged in, you guys. Like, you don't have to do real estate alone. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Success is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. And you just have to implement it long enough to see the results. And that's where a lot of agents miss the mark, is not staying consistent long enough, or not giving enough output, not making enough calls, not making enough content, not doing whatever the lead generation strategy is. You haven't done it enough, and you haven't done it for long enough to actually be able to say honestly that this doesn't work. Because there are agents all over the place that have done every single lead generation tactic on the sun and have made it work and have built their business on it. So if someone else has done it, so can you. But you really have to ask yourself, are you committed? And are you not going to give up no matter what happens? Because you are going to face roadblocks. You are going to have objections. You are going to get way more no's then you're going to get yeses. So you got to start being comfortable with being uncomfortable and being rejected, because that's what this is all about. There's no person that just magically gets more yeses than somebody else. So continually honing in on your skills and getting better at things, getting better at follow-up, getting better at the systems and the processes that you have. And so all of that I have jam-packed into that Hype Collective to help you with any aspect that you're struggling with in real estate. The live coaching, with the tools and resources in the vault, with the community and being surrounded by people who are doing the things, who are closing and being consistent at all of this stuff. So no matter what it is that you're struggling with, it's not the market's fault. It's not the fact that you didn't, whatever, you weren't given a silver spoon. Like, no, there are lots of agents who've started off worse than you and started off better with you, and anything in between. So it's not an exterior problem, it's an interior problem. And so when you can start to really look in and say, hey, take 100% responsibility for where you're at in your life and in your business, and you can also be willing to change some things, get outside of your comfort zone, that's what our community helps you do. That's what the tools and resources help you create. That is what the coaching is there to keep pushing you, to kick you in the butt when you need it, and help you get over those limiting beliefs, because we all have them. We all have them. There's not this magical, these humans that are quote unquote at the top, that they just magically didn't have limiting beliefs or magically didn't have any roadblocks. It's just that they kept going. They kept getting up and they didn't let anything stop them. So we help you do that. All of those things inside the Hype Collective, because we truly want to transform your business. If you can transform your business, you can transform your life, and you can literally lead your heart, lead your life, lead your family, whoever it is that you have influence over. You can actually do all of those things and those principles that we talk about in the coaching that I do, and in like just daily being engaged with people that are on that same track. It will have an impact in your personal life as well, because you are a whole person as a real estate agent. And when I coach people, I look at them as a whole person, not just how do we sell more real estate? Like, yes, of course, that's like bare minimum of like the coaching that we do, but it's about so much more than that. It's about your mindset. It's about what you believe about yourself. Do you feel like you have value to give people? So all of those things are really, really important in what we focus on and we target, and it's embedded into all the tools, the resources, the coaching, the community, the culture, the cadence that we have. So hope you felt that today. If you were here for the Follow Up is Forever event, go sign up for it next month. It's every third Tuesday of the month, and go get yourself 30% off of the Hype Collective. The code is follow30 at checkout to get yourself 30% off. So have a fabulous Tuesday, you guys. I will be here probably every day this week. So see you later.